Hi, welcome to NS345. I'm George. Wanted to show how I prepare my sessions. I'm going to do a series of videos. I'm going to have, it's pretty much from start to end. So I'll do setting up my initial session. Then I'll do the gain staging, coloring the tracks. And this video is good for those that may not have a lot of experience with Pro Tools or any DAW. And it may even be good for some of you more advanced Pro Tools users or mix engineers. So I got some tracks from Rate the Mix. I've got Pro Tools open already. I'm going to create a new session. Yeah, I'm just going to call it Rate the Mix 08. I'm going to look for a spot. I have an external hard drive. Always make sure you have an external hard drive. So RTM8. It's going to open up my session as blank. The first thing you want to do is go to your edit screen, and I'm going to hopefully show the shortcuts on here so you can see the shortcuts that I'm using. I really like using shortcuts, and if you see me looking up, it's because I have a screen up there, and I just kind of want to look at my face from time to time, make sure I don't look silly. There's multiple ways of importing audio into Pro Tools. I'm going to show you the way I do it. If you want to ask me how to do it different ways, you can ask on the comments. So I've got all my tracks here. First thing I do, obviously, is I make sure I set up my session in the right format. 44K sample rate, 24-bit depth, bit depth, and that's it. And then I want to make sure that these tracks match, just as there's no conversion. Way I could do that is just get info, right-click, get info. You can see here 44K 24-bit. I'm going to go pretty fast because I don't want to bore you talking. I'm going to select them all. Drag them into, select them all, drag them into Pro Tools. They're all selected, so they're all going to move. One thing that's happened to me before, when I move them all, only certain ones would move. The reason why that happens is when your all group is engaged, you select the first one, but because the first one is shorter, it doesn't grab the tail. So what happens is when you move it, although it's highlighted, see, it doesn't move. So what you want to make sure is that you capture all the way to the end. And now if you move it, they're all going to move. I like to have mine currently conductor rulers. Sorry, take this, cancel. Just going to take this off. So I'm just going to drag them here. Operation is not currently supported for conductor rulers. Oh, what did I just do? Anyways, sorry. Just gonna hear it real quick. Then I'm gonna arrange my tracks. I like to do it here because I can see the names. I'm gonna pick all my drums. Snare top, bottom, rag tom, overhead left, right, kick out, in, hi-hat, floor tom, and I think there was an ambience mic somewhere. It's here somewhere. So I just drag them up to the top like that. Ambient, there you go, snare top. Then I organize them how I like it. Kick out. Then I do snare top, bottom, drag them up. Floor tom after that, hi-hat, left, right, rack tom needs to be over here, and then ambient, which I'm assuming it's the room mic. Then I have acoustic guitar, left and right. I like my left on the left. Lead vocal and vocal harmony. Put those there. I like my bass tracks next to the drums. And my guitar, I'm going to put them next to the bass. And I did that. Guitar 1, 2, 3. Acoustic left and right. Acoustics I'm going to put after the bass. Just the way I'm used to it. You don't have to do it this way. You can organize them however you want to. Okay, now I have them all set up, and I did this through this screen. One thing that I like to do is fill up the screen. So I use Command A. Just not my day today, is it? Should be filling up my screen. I may have some automation here somewhere. So there we go. I did. Okay. Sorry about that. Now I have my tracks here. I like to color my tracks. So before I even start gain staging, I'm just gonna do a quick setup. And one thing that you want to do, it's when you go here, I think display, there we go. Track type and then track color. That way, or is it? Groups, sorry. No, track color. I like to do drums red. I'm gonna click there. And then I go back over here and you see all my tracks now change color. The way I did that is when you're in preferences, make sure this is selected. Default clip coloring, coding, track color. So whatever color you pick here, it's gonna give you the track color. I'll try to edit this video so I don't have a lot of unnecessary information, or sometimes I gotta fix stuff and I don't want to bore you. Okay, so I do that. I mean, you could do it here. It doesn't matter. I have all the basses. I'll leave them blue. Then my acoustics, I'll just do that color. Then guitar, I'll do green. No, I like vocals green. I'll do this purple. And then vocals, I like them green. All right, so you can do it to where you just do the track colors. And you leave this ones in the default stage, or you can even do where you take the track color off here, so you only get these colors. But I like the whole shebang here. I'm all into colors, and one way you can change the colors is doing this saturation, brightness. If you like that, whatever. So I'm just gonna take a quick listen, and I'm gonna start looking at some meters. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get my levels. So I haven't even cleaned up the tracks. Okay, so one thing that I do is I don't clean up the tracks, and I'll show you how I do that until I do the gain staging. Because if I start doing strip silence on these and I break them up, I could drag something or move it out of place. So I'm just going to start on this one, and I want to make sure that my tracks are at minus 18 dB RMS, meaning I want to see this meter hitting minus 18 dB average, okay? That doesn't mean peak. Peak would be, you know, you'll see the little meter jumping up and down. But RMS is the way the audio sounds to people, the average, how loud it sounds to people. And then the peak is how loud it actually is. So one thing that you can do is change your meters to make sure, where is it at? Oh, metering. So you go here, and I set mine to the color break low, minus 18. By default, it's at minus 20, and then the color break high is minus 6, which is good. So that way, I don't want to clip, I don't want to peak above 6. I want to keep it around that area, okay? So I'm going to insert a master track, master fader, and I'm going to put a... So that's good. And by doing this, I'm going to make sure that I have sufficient headroom when I'm mixing. I mean, it's not bad. You can still do it, but looks like my average is around 18. Okay, and I go to the next one. Next one. Okay, and one thing you want to remember, which I forgot, is you want to be at the loudest parts when you're doing this. Okay, so let me see, and you could see that by doing this. That doesn't look loud. Let me see overhits. And it just depends what it is too. So you just gotta pay attention. I guess the vocal is a good one to judge it by. So here it looks like. Okay, that's a good part there. So it's a snare bottom. Okay, that's good. Next one, did I do snare top? Yeah, I did. Hi-hat, just clicking on the meter there. Obviously, the hi-hat's got snare and everything in it. It's got bleed, so you just gotta kind of pay attention. Here we go. On toms, I want to actually go to where the tom hits are. See, that was a bit too low. That's good. Floor tom, you go here. See what that looks like. See. Okay, that's good. And then overhead looks pretty hot everywhere. You might want to look where there's a crash when you do overheads. Yeah, so that was good there. And then once you balance them, you still have to balance them. I'll show you that. I'm okay with that. Overhead, right? I mean, you don't need to pull up the volume faders. You can just look over here, and you'll see here, this is an ambient one. And what I like to do is keep it right as it's crossing over into the green, because I've set it at -18. The metering I set at -18. But if you want to be real detailed. Okay. Gonna go to bass. Doesn't look like many loud parts. Pull up the bass. It's actually yeah, that's good. Actually went up on that one. Let's see the bass mic. Now you know I'm being really pedantic now. I mean, probably exaggerating a little bit. It's okay. Left acoustic. Okay, that's good. Let's look for a busy part here for. Yeah, so what I'm looking for is the green staying right around the 20 mark. But I'm actually looking for the minus 18, but there's no minus 18 there. But I know that minus 18 is right when the light splits. So I got that one. I'm going to try this one now. You can get very detailed, but I want to make sure I have enough headroom. Okay. It's right on the money there. So what is this lead vocal?
To say he's wrong if he ain't around to sing his song, then who's gonna rock this town tonight?
This one's, it's very dynamic, so it's gonna peak, like right there is gonna peak, and then right there.
He tried to sign up, but he was too old to fight for
It's not
his
too bad.
country.
I can fix that with compression.
Well, he tried to sign up, but
Well,
he tried to sign up, but he was too old
just a little
to
bit.
fight for his country. Well, he tried to sign up, but
I'm happy with that. And then, what is this?
he just stayed the guitar.
Picking man. He just stayed the guitar picking man. He just
Okay.
He just stayed the guitar picking man. He just stayed the guitar.
Good. Solo. Bring out the volume fader. And then pay attention. That one's actually good. Okay, so if I go here,
He just stayed the guitar
and just
picking man.
look at everything. See, the bass sub is, everything now looks okay right around the green area. Okay, but the bass sub is still killing me. Where is it at? Because I did something wrong, didn't I?
He just stayed the guitar.
Oh, yeah. I'm probably not going to use that anyways.
For his country, for his country. He just stayed the guitar picking man.
Okay, so if I bring out my little VU meter, you'll see the overall level of the mix, what it's being summed. So it's above minus 18. I don't want it to be there.
Just stayed the guitar picking man.
So that doesn't matter because right now I'm on pre-fader metering. So do you really want anything at minus 18 during pre-fader metering? Doesn't matter. You just don't want it to be, I think the sweet spot for your converters are around minus 18 dB, dBFS. So this is okay for me now. This is a little high. Yeah, can you drop that to minus 18? Yeah, but you don't want to do that. Just leave it at 0. Okay, once you start mixing, let me explain why this is good, because once you start throwing your plugins to each track, these levels are actually going to hit your plugins at a minus 18 dBFS level, which is equal to 0 VU. A lot of the Waves plugins are set to 0 VU or calibrated to 0 VU. So your plugins are going to get the input or the signal coming in at a very nice level, which is going to make your track sound even better. Okay, so that was part of gain staging. So just to recap, opened up my session, set it up, I dragged in the tracks, then I did a little bit of gain staging. Now I'm just going to clean up the tracks. Notice that I haven't even set up groups or anything. And you could do this in different ways. Drums, you got to be real careful. There's one way that you could do the cleaning of the tracks real fast, and I'll show you two ways real quick. So I do strip silence. You'll be able to see the shortcuts. And this is very nice because you can see, it's right on the money. Even if you get closer, you're not taking anything off. And I'm not really worried about it because I can still drag the ends at the end. And these tracks look very, very similar. So you could do this. Just select them all. Go all the way down because I'm only going to take the front and the back on this one. So I hit strip. And my drum tracks are clean. I don't do the fadings and fade outs until the end because I do all of them. But typically I don't do fade-ins, to be honest, and or fade outs until I start mixing. I don't really care because I'm not messing up anything. Okay, same thing for guitars. That's pretty good. Just taking that excess front and back. Yeah, you want to get technical. I mean, I could have done it just by clicking and doing it, but I'm just showing you again the ways I do it. Okay, yeah, this one's nice. You see, it's gonna right on the money. I mean, even if you look here, you think it's cutting off. It's not. So you go there. Can you do this one? If they're similar, you can do them together. Otherwise, you do one by one. This one's gonna do. Yeah, I like that. Let me do the bottom one as well together. It's good. Then vocal. See, that's nice. It's already set. And again, if you just zoom in, you could see how close. I mean, you're not cutting anything off. So I would just say, go ahead and do that. Get all of them. Don't be afraid. Don't be a weenie. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. So do I really need to do fades? Yeah, you do. But I kind of just here for them. Yeah, it's not affecting anything. All right. So I'll pull up my VU meter where I'm at. I'm still the same. I haven't done any. I could tell you what I'm averaging. 18 minus 14. So right now my average is about minus 14. Okay, but I'm gonna leave it at minus 18. That's the calibration. This plugin is really cool. If you look at the brand here, Klanhelm VUMT Solo, it's a German company. It's like $9 right now. Get it, man, get it. All right. Just hit a quick save. Next thing I do is, before I go and do anything else, I'm going to group these. I'm going to call this drums. I look for the D for drums. I leave the send mutes and the send levels off because I like to do those individually. Do that. Do my bass. And guess what I'm going to use? The letter B for bass. Then I'm going to do acoustic guitars. I'm going to leave it on letter A. And then electric guitars. Oh, I messed up. So this always stinks because I'm just gonna delete it. Sorry. Suspend, delete active group. Cancel, make sure that's not highlighted. All right, just gonna do it again. Electric guitars. You guessed it, I'm using an E. It's awesome. Oh my gosh, where's all my tracks? Not to worry, Grasshopper. Just click there. One good trick that I've learned with the groups is hold control for which tracks you want to see. Click that group, and that's what's, it's good for mixing large sessions. Now I have all my tracks. Now what am I missing? Lead vocal, I keep it separate, and I'll take a quick look at the vocals, my green vocals. Looks like the top one is singing the entire time. Forgot this here. There's nothing there. Okay. So I don't do anything for the lead vocal, and I'm gonna do BGVs. And I don't know what to call those. I already used up the letter. I'm just gonna call it vocals. How about that? V for Victor. And the lead vocal is by itself. I still leave it the same color. All right. Now I'm gonna start setting up my buses. I don't. I'm very. I mean, there's many ways you can do this, but here, let me show you. Track, kick sub. You can say new track, auxiliary, stereo, and I'm gonna call this drums. Now I'm creating buses right now. Okay. The thing about my buses is I like them to be the same color. This is always the last track. And then I'm going to send this one to a new track as well. I'm going to call this mix bus. This is basically my submix. And this one, usually I leave it next to my master fader. So now I have my drums going to my drum bus. And I just call it drums. The output is mix bus. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing with my bass. Hold shift and option. And just select one of the last track and say new track. And I'm going to call this bass. I do all my buses in uppercase. So I'm going to just check something real quick. Yeah, it's creating my buses there. Good. See, the drums are playing right now through this and then through this. And I usually solo save all my buses and my mix bus. Okay? And I'll explain this whole structure later. I'm going to do my acoustic guitars. Shift, option, new track, acoustic. And I just say A gits. Or acoustic, you like that? I want to be able to see the name here. Oh, it keeps going away. That's one thing I wish. Okay, then my lead guitars, my guitars. New track. I'm going to call this E guitars. I can't spell today, can I? Let me change this. And where am I sending this one? You guessed it, my mix bus. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to IO buses, and I'm going to delete these buses. I don't want them there. I'm just going to hit delete path. Okay. Again, I'm going to color this the same color. I just select them so it shows me on the color palette which colors I'm going to use. Then I'm going to go to my vocals here. Shift option, new track, and yes, you guessed it, BGVs. Stereo, auxiliary, and I colored it green. And my mix bus and my master track, always red, like the drums. Yes, I'm going to change this because I'm like that. So all my buses now are set up. Well, how are you going to mix? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, this is my way. So make sure your buses are solo safe. BGVs. I know always that, the way I have them grouped, my last track is always my bus. Okay. So if I do a quick check, everything should still be playing. All right. So here is where I think my workflow is nice. Right now, if I wanted to mix this, if I wanted to solo groups and stuff like that, I'd have to go back to that group or to activate that group and do that. You see how I activated that group? Because my groups are active here. Sorry, my groups are active. See, by pressing the letter that I used earlier, see, I could take it off. E, V. So in this case, I could hit D, solo. Yeah, can I hear the drums? Yes. But when I go to mixing, I don't want to, sometimes I just want to mix the groups, okay? And I don't want to have to go back and forth. So this is what I do. I'm not really good at talking, guys. So go to I/O. Then I'm gonna set up, and I learned this from Fab DuPont, the French guy, one of the coolest, hippest, has a great ear, excellent website called Pure Mix. I've learned so much from that guy. So I'm gonna create new path, and I'm gonna create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, because that's all I need. That's all I set up. So I'm just gonna say 5 buses. And they're all stereo, so make sure you select stereo. I'm not going to create the subpads. Just create. Okay, it's here, and I'm going to go drums. I'm going to do a small s, lowercase s. Sorry. Well. And this is for my drum stem. Then I'm going to do what's next? Bass. Bass. Lowercase s. Then I'm gonna go, A git, S for stem, E git for electric guitar stem. And then my next one is B G V's. Well, actually, I'll explain. Vocal. I'm just going to call it lead stem. And then the next one is going to be BGV stem. Okay. So now I'm going to add 5 new stereo auxiliary tracks, which I did here. And then I'm going to hold down Shift, Option, Command, and I'm going to select the first one here, and it created all my inputs. Now all of the outputs, by holding Shift Option, are going to go to my mix bus. Now I could move that around just because I'm very picky, so it comes up before anything. That's how I like doing my stuff. So let me label these real quick. Drums, stem. Then I'm going to go bass. This is the only annoying part if you're not good with the keyboard. Stem, A, git, stem, E, git, stem, and lead, stem. Okay. Now, I usually like my drums, bass, acoustic guitar, E-guitar, lead, and then BGVs. Oh, where's my BGVs? I didn't make one. It was 6. I miscalculated it. And then this is also going to my mix bus. Okay, so solo safe by holding Command. All right, now if I do this, nothing's going there because I have to assign. Actually, I made a mistake of assigning these to the mix bus, so I'm going to do this. Just select them. Select all my buses. See, drums, bass, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, lead, vocal, and auxiliary. Select that one as well. And I'm just going to click. Let's see if it works. Shift, Option, Command. Just going to go to my stems. Cool, it worked. All right. That was an evil laugh. Okay, so watch this. It's my favorite. Oh, let me label that one. BGV. Yes, it's a lot of work. I know it. And some of you are going to say, oh, you don't need all that. That's okay. You're allowed to. I'm going to call this stems. And guess what letter I'm going to use to activate this group. This group will likely stay activated at all times. So it's activated now. So if I hit mute, watch this. Rather than having to look for my buses, doing that, I'm going to hit mute. Now I'm just going to hold Control. I just want to hear the drums. Right? I have to do anything over here. I want to hear the bass. Mute them all. Unmute them. Okay, this is a long video, and I combined a bunch of stuff into it. I don't know if I'll break it up, but I guess let me recap what I did. Should I use pages? What do I have? I've seen people do this, and I thought it was pretty cool. Oh, I don't have any office stuff here. That stinks. I'm just going to use notes. You're okay with that? Okay, so the first thing I did is create new session. Okay, second thing I did, import audio. Third thing I did was cleanup session. The fourth thing I did was group. Actually, number 3 was arrange tracks or rearrange. Before I cleaned the session, I did gain staging. After gain staging, I cleaned up the session. So for gain staging, what I did for each track is I made sure I brought the clip gain to minus 18 dBFS, which is equal to 0 VU. In the analog domain, all of the hardware, most hardware, is calibrated to 0 VU. That is the sweet spot for most converters or analog gear. A lot of the Waves plugins, and I think there's other plugins as well, are calibrated to minus 18 dB. So one thing that you notice when you have plugins, the audio is in the red, and you're thinking, why is it in the red? Because your input level, your pre-fader level, is too hot. It's above minus 18, so you're getting that. And once I go into mixing, I'll explain that. But okay, so I created a new session. I made sure the session matched the sample rate and bit depth of the tracks. I then just opened up Finder, and I dragged the tracks inside. I then used the track section here. I forget what this is called. And I just rearranged the tracks. You can just pull them, blah, blah. And I like that because you can see the names here. Yeah, you can, or you could do it here as well. If you select all of these, you can just move in here. Whatever way you like. Again, there's many ways to do this, but I'm showing you how I do it. So then I did a little gain staging. Most tracks were not, these tracks were recorded pretty good. Then I cleaned up the session using strip silence. Now this one was easy because as soon as I put the strip silent deal on it, it was already, you know, right on the money. I didn't do anything in between the drums. Later on, I am gonna clean up the toms. I actually like to do these according to whatever hits. See, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then so I cleaned the session, and then I created buses. Buses are pipes. You know, you put the audio here on one end of the pipe, and you send it to the other end. That's all it is. And basically what I did is I took my groups. I held down Shift Option, clicked here, looked for the bus. There it is. And voila. And then lastly, I created stems. Again, I learned this from Fab DuPont. Look him up. And this is one way that he does it, which I love it because he does a lot of the analog summing. So he sums out the tracks out of the box into a dangerous piece of hardware and then brings it back into Pro Tools. And when I mix, I've got a few plugins that I use to emulate that or simulate it. Okay? Man, this video just turned out to be 42 minutes. Did you hear the BGVs? Let me make sure they're there. Okay, my next video is going to be how to create your static mix, or basically your kind of balance the tracks and maybe work on the arrangement a little bit. I really hope I did a good job at this video, so let me know. If I talk too much, let me know as well. I'm very new at this, so I just want to share what I know. I love teaching people what I know, and I love learning from people. I'm not too proud. Okay, once again, my name is George, and I'm with NS345 Productions. Please look up my website, NS345, or join us on my Facebook page. I usually put samples of some of the work that I do there. So, all right, thank you for watching. See you on the next video.